We are live.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you
so
guys
much
so
for
much for
joining
joining
us.
us.
I see a
I see
couple
a couple
people in the
people in the
chat
chat
already.
already.
Tanya,
Tanya,
Future
Future
Nurse
Nurse
Rose,
Rose,
Woody,
Lee,
Valerie.
Valerie.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you
so much
guys so
for
much for
joining us.
joining us.
So, if you
So, if you
guys are
are
joining
joining
our first
first
time, we'll
time,
just do a
we'll
brief
just do a brief
introduction.
introduction.
And I hope you guys can hear me
And I
well
hope
because
you
I
guys
hear
can
an
hear me well
echo.
because I hear an echo. It's a little echo, but let us
Okay.
know if you guys can hear us okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just
Okay.
start off
So
with
we'll
brief
just start off with
introductions and then
introductions and then
go into it.
go into
Yeah,
it.
Keith
Yeah.
hits and
He
says
hits
there
it
is an
because
echo.
there is an echo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's an echo. Is it the both of us or one of us? I'm trying to see. I could possibly put my AirPods in.
Hi,
Hi,
Latasha.
Latasha. Hi, Latasha. Thank you for joining.
Let's keep going.
Let's
Let's
keep
keep
going.
going.
Let's keep going.
Challenges. Hi,
Challenges.
Tracy.
Hi,
Yeah,
Tracy.
everyone is saying
Yeah,
there's an
everyone is saying
echo.
there's an echo. It's an echo. No,
Just
just
Kiana.
Kiana. Okay. Kiana, do you have AirPods or some?
Okay.
Okay. Let's
You want to end the
you want to
broadcast and
end the
then we'll come right
broadcast
back
and then we'll
in?
come right back in? Um, we can. It's up to you. You tell me. Or do you want to?
Yeah, I think I should
Yeah, I
try
think
to
I
figure
should
out
try to
what to do.
do. Okay.
Okay. We'll be right
Okay.
back.
We'll be
Don't
right
go.
back. We'll be
Don't
right
go.
back. Hello. Okay.
Okay. What about
What
now?
about now? It sounds okay. Say something else again, but you know what? It didn't end. You just kept. We just kept going, so that's good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
How's it now,
How's it
guys?
now,
You guys
guys? You
still
guys still
hear an echo?
hear an echo?
I think so
I
because I
think
could.
so because I could. Sounds better to me, but I don't know what they're hearing. It's an echo. Leilani, how does it sound on your end? Say something, Kiana. Let's just make sure.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
get some.
let's get some. Okay. I think it is still echoing. It's kind of going in and out, Kiana.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Are you playing it on your do you don't have your phone on or anything like that, right?
No, nothing else is
No,
on.
no, nothing not else the is sound. On. Yeah. Mm-mm. Or two mics connected. Do you have more than one mic or just?
Nope. All right.
Nope.
Let me
All right,
figure
let
it
me
out,
figure it
guys.
out, guys. Do you have some AirPods?
I do.
I do. Okay. Let's try that and see. We'll be right back.
Okay,
Okay,
guys.
guys.
I still
I
hear it.
still
Let
hear
me know
it.
if you
Let me
guys
know if
can
you
hear
guys
it.
can hear it.
A little bit, but not as bad as it was before. Say something else again.
Hello? Can you
Hello?
guys
Can you
hear me?
guys hear me?
Any
A
better?
bit better.
It's like it's going in and out just a little, but um let's see.
Yeah.
How does it
Let me know.
sound,
Let me
everyone,
know
on your
if
side?
it's
Can you
better.
hear? Kiana?
Still
Still
echoing.
echoing.
Still bad.
Still bad.
You sound clear
Sorry,
there,
guys.
Sorry,
though.
guys. I'm trying to
Out.
figure it out.
I know. Technology for you, right?
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah, I
any.
don't have any.
Yeah, I really
Yeah, I
rather
really
use
rather
the
work
phone,
from
but
home, but
I guess I
I
might
guess
have
I
to.
might have to.
All right.
All
Let me
right.
do all
Yeah. It says when it echoes, perhaps a headset may work, but it's still
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
guys.
Let me
Let me
try
try
one more
one more
thing.
thing.
Be right
Be
back.
right back.
okay. We'll get started shortly. Thank you for joining. We're just working out some technical.
What
What
about
about now?
what
What
about
about
now,
now,
Tony?
Tony?
It's
It's
better on
better on
my
my
end.
end.
It's better on your end.
Let me
Let
know,
me know,
guys.
guys.
Does it
Does it
sound
sound
better?
better?
I can hear you now.
Any
Any
echoing?
echoing?
Let me
Let me
know if the
know if the
echo is
echo is
better.
better.
It's better on my end. How is it, everyone, on your end? How can you hear Kiana? Yes. So they're saying yes.
Yes, it's
Yes, it's
better,
better,
or
or
yes, you
yes, you
still hear
still
an
hear an
echo.
echo.
It's
It's
not that
not that
bad.
bad.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right,
All
let
right,
me
let me
see.
see.
Echo is better. They said it's better. Yeah, because I actually don't hear the echo. It just sounds a little. If it gets I'll let you know. But it's good.
Okay.
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 Tracy said
Tracy
we
said
can
we
make
can
it
make it
work.
work.
Yeah,
Let's
Let's
make it
make it
work.
work.
Make it work.
Somebody else
Somebody
said
else
not
said not
much
much
better.
better.
Let me
Let me
see.
see.
I'm gonna
I'm
log
gonna
in on
log
my
in on my
phone. Give
phone.
me
Give me
1
1
second.
second.
Give me
Give me
1
1
second.
second.
In the
In the
meantime,
meantime,
Natasha, I'm
Natasha,
gonna
I'm
put
gonna put
myself on
myself on
mute.
mute.
Okay.
Why
Why
don't you
don't
go
you go
ahead
ahead
and
and
introduce
introduce
yourself?
yourself?
Okay.
Let
Let
everyone
everyone
know who
know
you
who you
are,
are,
where
where
you're
you're
located,
located,
Yes.
and how
and
you
how you
got
got
started in
started in
healthcare.
healthcare.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Kiana. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kiana, for having me. So I am Natasha C. Miller, also known as the Medical Mompreneur, and I've been in healthcare now over 22 years. So I know it doesn't seem like I'm probably that old, right? But I am up there a little bit. So I have a couple of businesses, NCM Healthcare. I am the founder and CEO, and we are a health information management company where we do specialize and help you in medical billing services, medical coding, auditing, consulting, and training. So for a while, we were offering the CPC certification course, and now we're really focusing on those that need that additional study prep. So if you're someone that has gone through a program, then we'll help you to be able to go through our study prep and be able to pass that CPC certification. So we have our study prep we have available to you, as well as our practice tests available to you as well. And I'm also a professor, so I do teach for another school outside of my business. I am a wife and a mom of five. I'm also a Gigi. I have a grandson. But what I really do like about medical coding is that it's really provided me a lot of opportunities in this industry, and becoming certified was the key for me. So before I became certified, I was doing a lot of different things in healthcare billing. I was a billing assistant. I was going to school originally for nursing to be a CNA. But it was during that time when I realized I really liked the behind the scenes and I wanted to stay behind the scenes. And then I heard that you could, make great money doing it and you can work from home. And so that's when I really just got focused and dug in deep and got that certification. And receiving my CPC certification was what actually allowed me to just really grow in this industry. And then from there, I do have my CPB, Certified Professional Biller. I have my CRC, Certified Risk Coder Adjustment. I also am a CPCI, Certified Professional Coder Instructor. And yes, so I've been at this for a while now, and it is a really rewarding career. And so we're here tonight to just come in and answer any questions that you have pertaining to medical billing versus medical coding. And so while Kiana is still working on her audio, hi Kiana. I was going to take a medical coding question if you do have. So go ahead and you can type that in and we'll be answering your questions. And we love to just get to connect and see how we can offer our services to you. Okay, Kiana, go ahead.
Okay. Disconnect the other device. Okay, guys. How's my sound? Is it better? Any echo?
It's better.
It's much better. Okay, cool. Okay. So I am Kiana Craig. I am from New York. I've been working in the healthcare industry, the business side of healthcare, for the last 23 years. I started out in 1999. My first position was an emergency room registrar. So it's not always going to be what you know, but who you know. So that first opportunity was presented by my aunt, who's a registered nurse. She's an emergency room registered nurse. She was working there. She told me about an opportunity that had opened up. I interviewed and got the position. Now, I would have thought, for a position like that, you would need prior healthcare experience. But as we know, in a lot of positions in, the healthcare industry, you don't need any prior healthcare experience, just like, with medical billing and medical coding. So I was able to get the opportunity, work there for 3 years, learn a ton of medical terminology, worked with so many different types of providers. It was amazing. It was a really, really good experience, a great entry-level position. So after that, I went on to work in several different private practices. I worked in 2 different hospitals, and then I landed in an OBGYN private practice in 2006. So I was managing the office, running the front desk, and they were outsourcing their medical billing to a billing company. I was the liaison between the practice and the billing company, and I didn't really know anything about medical billing prior to then, but I started to learn little things here and there, and it interests me. And I decided that I would jump on an opportunity that presented itself. So what happened was the medical billing company was experiencing a lot of denials for untimely filing. So untimely filing means they weren't getting the claims submitted in the time frame allowed. On average, we have about 90 days to submit claims, but it does depend on the payer. So for example, Medicare allows 365 days from the date of service, which is great. That's a whole year. But they were experiencing some issues. So I took advantage of that situation as, possibly my way in. I went to the providers and I asked them if they would allow me, with no experience, no billing experience, to take over their billing. I gave them an incentive. I told them I would do it at no charge for 3 months if they would give me the opportunity to prove myself. And if I did a great job, they would let the medical billing company go and I would take over the billing. And long story short, it all worked out. So my employer became my first client. and they've been my client for the last 16 years. So don't be afraid, to go to your employers and ask for that opportunity, especially if you're already, you're working there, you have a good rapport with them. You just never know. Don't be afraid. So I took a chance and it worked out. So 2 years after that, I started my home-based medical billing business in 2008. And, I worked in the business on the side. I was still working full-time as a manager on site 9 to 5. And I had my clients on the side until 2014 rather. 2014, I had my first son. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also wanted to earn an income. So I decided to go full force with my home-based medical billing business, and it kind of took off from there. So to bring you to 2020, I decided to start my community, Ask the Biller, to be the mentor and coach and, support system that I didn't have when I was starting out. I was a self-taught biller. I pretty much taught myself. I purchased a textbook. I invested in some software training so I can learn the ins and outs of the training, but I kind of just learned on my own. At the time, I didn't know about AAPC. So in 2020, I started the platform, Ask the Biller, and I became an instructor, an AAPC approved CPBI, Certified Professional Biller Instructor. So I'm now teaching medical billing in addition to running, my home-based medical billing business. I think that's everything in a nutshell.
I love it. Do you want to share how we got connected?
That's a good question.
I'm
sure I probably reached out to you on Instagram. Instagram is amazing. I've been able to meet so many amazing people. So many industry professionals. Some of you are on here, and you guys are amazing. So I'm sure I probably reached out to you via DM.
Yes, I believe so. But it's been a great just networking, collaboration, everything. Like, you've been a blessing to me, and I just really appreciate, it's been really great. So I think that's one of the first things that I would share is networking is so important in this industry. You never know how you can move up the ladder just even through networking.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's underrated, yeah. But it's key. It's key for your career, for your business. Definitely want to put yourself out there. Join an organization.
Yes.
And that can other people who are really.
Yes. So we do have some questions that have come in. Do you want to start going through those?
You know what? Right before we do that, let's explain the difference between medical billing and medical coding.
Yes.
I'm not sure, who everyone is on the live. Some individuals may be new to billing and coding. They may not understand the difference. So let's explain the difference between billing and coding.
Okay.
And then we can jump right into the thing.
That sounds good.
You can go ahead and start coding since coding takes first.
Right. Coding takes place first. So a lot of times you do hear medical billing and coding, but actually coding takes place first in the revenue cycle. And so coding is where we as a coder, we're actually going in the medical record, abstracting out the procedure, possibly the surgery, the office visit, and we're helping provide those codes, transcribing those codes into alphanumeric codes, 5-digit codes. So you can be using your CPT manual, your HIPAA manual, as well as your ICD-10 CM manual. And this is for physician-based coding because there's also inpatient coding. And so as a coder, the doctor actually should be providing his or her codes. We're not medical professionals in that aspect, right? However, we can go in there and help assist that provider and either manually abstract out to help or do a review, a chart audit review to see did they actually capture the correct code or codes that they should have captured. And that's in a nutshell what a coder is doing without going too in depth. But it is important for a coder to understand medical terminology and anatomy because we are looking at those reports, looking at the progress reports or the office visits. We have coding guidelines that we do have to look at. our manuals, our codes, they change yearly, annually. And so we're constantly learning and constantly doing our, continuing education as a coder. But we are touching the codes and helping input those codes before it actually even gets to the biller.
Okay. So after the coding takes place, steps in the biller. So the billers need the codes in order to create the claims. So we're not doing any coding. We're not responsible for coding. Of course, we want to familiarize ourselves with the different code sets, the ICD-10-CM, CPT, and HCPCS. We should be knowledgeable in appropriate modifier usage, but we are not primarily responsible for coding. So a biller can have a range of different duties, verifying eligibility and benefits. This is checking to make sure that the patient is covered under their policy, checking the specific benefits for the service that is going to be rendered. They may possibly obtain prior authorization, which is basically getting approval from the insurance company to provide, certain service. They may be responsible for charge entry and review. Okay, so taking those charges and the diagnoses off of the super bill, aka encounter form, whether it's on paper, electronic, but maybe taking those those codes and entering them into the billing software, reviewing it, appending any necessary and appropriate modifiers, and submitting the claims, to the insurance company. Following up, we do a lot of follow-up, making sure that the claims are processed correctly. Monitoring rejections for sure. Claims that have been rejected have not reached the insurance company. They've been rejected or stopped for a specific reason. So we want to monitor those rejection reports and make those corrections, get the claims sent back out. Reviewing EOBs. We need to be able to understand the EOBs, and post the payments into the software. Working on AR, accounts receivables. So this could be outstanding balances for, patient balances or outstanding insurance balances. So we may be responsible for contacting patients and trying to collect those balances, or contacting the insurance company to find out why the claims haven't been paid. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So there's a lot of different things that can take place during each stage. So you want to enroll in a reputable course, get some training. I did see, and we're going to go through the comments, but I know some of you are asking how you can get opportunities without having any experience. And I'm going to say any paid experience. You can definitely invest in training. You can invest in training, and we'll talk about our courses, but you can invest in training. In a training course, it will teach you, the steps of the revenue cycle. You'll learn on, medical billing software so that you understand the different stages. And of course, every billing software looks different, but, the processes are the same. So you'll still understand, what you need to be doing on a daily basis. So that's medical billing in a nutshell. Okay, so do you want to, let's, I guess, jump into the Q&A?
Okay, yes, we can do that.
I'm just scrolling back up.
Because we had quite a few questions that came in.
Right. Let's start with Ella Aura 77. She says, I have a medical billing and coding certificate. She got in 2018. She wants to know if she should go back to school for a higher level or refresher. Well, I think it depends on, on your goals. You don't necessarily have to go back for a higher level. So let me back up. So there's no college degree that is required in order to become a medical biller or a medical coder. Certification is great. I think it's a great option for formal education. It will not cost you nearly as much as a college degree. You will not spend nearly as much time as earning a college degree. And, for non-managerial positions, it's all that's required. It's sufficient, and it actually holds more weight than a college degree for non-managerial positions. And, it's going to allow you to be part of an organization because you'll have to keep up with your certification. One of the ways that you do that with AAPC, besides paying your annual dues, is earning your CEUs, your continuing education units. So I think CEUs are extremely important. So maintaining your credential means you have to keep up with, with the industry changes and continue to learn. So, those are just some of the benefits of the membership. But no, you don't have to pursue higher education. I just think it depends on exactly what your goals are. A refresher would be great. I mean, 2018, it's been 4 years. So definitely a refresher course would, I'm sure, definitely benefit you. What do you think, Natasha?
And I would just add to that, just going back to what are your goals. If you are looking and wanting to be a coder, then I would recommend possibly going through a CPC training course or taking some type of study prep just to get you ready for the certification. So that way you can go and sit for the CPC. So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, and then Sage has a similar question. I'm certified medical billing and coding specialist, having a hard time breaking into the industry without experience. Any help? I keep getting turned down for jobs and no referrals. So as far as medical billing, I would definitely invest in an actual training course, because then you will be able to present yourselves as a great candidate during these interviews. You'll be able to express you understand, the medical billing terminology, you understand the different steps of the revenue cycle. You know how to verify benefits, whether or not you've actually done it. You understand the steps that you need to take. You understand how to enter charges, submit claims, post payments that you learned in the training course. So I feel like there's a lot of benefits to actually getting that training so that, you can excel during that interview. Also, what was I going to say? Obviously, becoming a member, like I mentioned a minute ago, becoming a member of AAPC, I do think is also crucial because of what we said before, the networking opportunities. You want to network with your local chapter and see if they can assist you in any way, if they're aware of any potential opportunities. AAPC does have a job board as well. AAPC actually held a virtual job fair today. I don't know if any of you
Yes.
Yeah. They held their first virtual job fair today. So I would say, get connected with other individuals in the industry and invest in yourself in that training,
right?
To make yourself a great candidate.
Right. And I would just add to that, attend the local chapters meetings. A lot of times the managers, supervisors, they will share opportunities with the local chapters. So attending those chapters, even if it's virtual or in person, that's a great way to network. And then also the APC, they do have what's called the practical. So if you are certified, then, and you don't have any experience, you might want to consider doing the practical, because that will give you experience and you're coding out a variety of different specialties as well. And that's something you can also put on your resume to make you more marketable. So those are my 2 pointers. And then the last one is, I know that you mentioned you are certified as a medical billing and coding specialist, but I'm not sure which certification you have. So going back to the certifications, look to, if you're not certified with the APC, then look to obtain a certification through them.
Okay. So the next question is from Valerie. And she says, I've been in healthcare for over 20 years. I have my CPC, but it's my desire to start my own medical billing business. How do I get started? So for anyone who's interested in starting their own home-based medical billing business, I do have a free checklist on my website. If you go to justaskthebiller.com, in about 30 seconds, a pop-up will appear and it will ask you if you would like to receive that free checklist. And you'll put in your email address and you'll be able to download it right away. You'll also receive the checklist via email. So it walks you through the 10 steps that I took to form my my home-based medical billing business. So of course, first you want to invest in some training, get some education and training. We're not really out here starting businesses without knowing anything. I know there are individuals who want to start a medical billing business, but don't necessarily want to perform the work, and that's great. But then in that case, you would be hiring someone who's definitely experienced or has gotten the education and training to start out. But in a nutshell, I'll just tell you the first couple things that you need to do. or that I did. And I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, I'm just sharing, my experience of what I did. And that was create an LLC. So I'm in New York, I created an LLC. It was $200 if I'm not mistaken. You want to apply for an EIN, okay, or a tax ID number with the IRS, which is free. And then you can take those two documents and you can open up a business bank account. Okay, you want to open up a business account, separate it from your personal account. And you can also invest in liability insurance. So our liability insurance is E&O, errors and omissions insurance. And that's going to protect you in case, God forbid, you were to cause any financial loss, any financial damage to your clients. You have that protection. You have that coverage that would cover your legal expenses. I have a policy. It's $1 million policy. I pay about $50 a year. I'm in New York, so it's a little bit more expensive, but not a year, a month, $50 per month, which to me, it's priceless.
I was gonna say $50 a year. That's great.
Not for New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next question. I work for a medical insurance company on the Medicare side. Plus, I have taken courses in coding. For whatever reason, I have a hard time getting an entry-level position such as cash poster or patient account analysis. So I think we kind of talked about, different ways that you can get those entry-level opportunities.
Yeah, and even so, if you're already working at a medical insurance company, try to find out who is or who are the hiring managers in those different departments. Try to start just networking within the organization itself, and let them know, if you've already taken a course, if you're already certified, what your goals are, what your plans are, how you can help them in that department. You never know, just by starting a conversation, where that can take you as well.
And I think anyone who has been working for a health insurance company, use that to your advantage. I think that makes you a great asset. You understand how things work on the payer side.
And there was a comment, someone said maybe she needs resume help or interview help. And that could possibly be it too, especially if you're having a hard time. If you're not getting the actual interview, right? So then that means your resume probably does need to be looked at, revised. And then if you are at least getting to the interview but not getting the job, then you probably do need to brush up on those skills as well. I do have on my website a free downloadable medical coding questionnaire type of thing. So it's like the top questions that could be asked during a medical coding interview. So you can go to the website, ncmhealthcare.com, and we'll put it in the chat later. You can download that for free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to let you answer this question. I'm assuming they're referring to coding because they asked about HEMA. So do you recommend getting certified through AAPC or a HEMA? Is one certification more difficult to obtain than the other?
Great question. And so my answer to this is always, what are your goals, right? AAPC is for physician-based coding. That's what they really specialize in. There are other certifications and specialty certifications that you are able to obtain, but the gold standard through the AAPC is the CPC. So for someone that doesn't have any coding experience, I do always recommend you to start off on the AAPC side and get your CPC. Now, if you already know your goals and you're like, you just want to go straight forward to inpatient, then go to a HEMA. That is what they specialize in. And so with the HEMA programs, you will most likely have to either do a 2-year or 4-year program, depending on where you go for your actual certification. And so just be mindful of that. It will take a little bit longer and you're studying through a HEMA compared to the AAPC. However, you do make more money on the inpatient side, or I should say you can make more money because you can make just as much, as not more, on AAPC side as well. So you just have to do some research, go to ahema.org website and look at all the different certifications, job opportunities, the career pathways that they have, And then you can do the same thing with aapc.com and look to see what they have and go from there.
Natasha, does your company do review on specialty certs or brush up sessions?
So currently right now, we're not doing any specialty cert reviews. However, we do have the CPC. And so that is what we do. And then we also have the study prep for the CPC as well.
What type of tools should a biller have? What type of tools should a billing have use for information? So you're going to have to rephrase that. Not exactly sure what you're asking. My current instructor puts emphasis on learning medical terminology, but I don't know where to start.
So I would say start back with your instructor. Because if you're in a course, a program, then they should have maybe medical terminology within the program, or your instructor should be able to guide you on what you need to be doing for medical terminology. So that would be my first point. But there's so many different free resources available to you for medical terminology. You have YouTube available. There's other just links where you can, Google ways to study. But I would just definitely go back to your instructor and ask your instructor, what resources can you give me to study to learn medical terminology?
And Diswa, the International Zulu Girl, says, "Hi, Kiana. Is there a graduation ceremony once I obtain the certificate? And what is the basic pay for a medical biller?" So no, there is no ceremony. So AAPC is an organization that we are certified through. AAPC is not a school. They're a credentialing organization for, the business side of healthcare. They provide training and credentialing. So there's no ceremony, but you will receive a certificate after you pass, the certification exam. As far as basic pay for a medical biller, I'll give you the average. I would say the average is for an employee. This is not for a business owner because you can potentially make much more. But for an employee, I would say it's anywhere between $15 to $25 per hour. And that's going to vary. It's going to depend on the specialty, the geographic location, exactly what you're hired to do. But I would say between 15 and 25 per hour. Let's see. Someone says, Kiana, will your online course show us how to bill for all doctor settings? For example, neurologist, OBGYN, surgeon, anesthesiologist. No, I wish that were the case, because so many people are actually looking for billing courses for specific specialties, and it just doesn't work that way. Most billing courses are, general billing courses. Now, my online course is a professional medical billing course. So you're learning professional billing, how to bill for providers such as medical doctors, nurse practitioners, laboratories, things like that. It's not facility billing. So you won't be billing in my course, you won't be learning how to bill for hospitals to get paid, nursing homes, rehab facilities, things like that. So it's professional billing that you're going to learn, and the fundamentals that you're going to learn applies to any specialty actually, but you're not learning specific specialties and specific codes. Those courses really don't exist. So if anyone is extremely, if you have the experience and the expertise in specific specialties, create a course, because it's very rare to find that. Let's see. Lisa Clark says, I did training for a medical billing through AAPC. I'm having a hard time passing the CPB exam. I've applied for several jobs for medical biller and no success. So we did kind of talk about how, to make yourself an eligible candidate for entry-level positions. But as far as the CPB exam, I guess we could talk about each exam a little bit, Natasha. So the CPB exam, the billing exam, it's currently 4 hours. As of January, it was actually reduced from 5 hours and 40 minutes to 4 hours, and it's 135 multiple choice questions. That was also reduced this year. So it's 135 multiple choice questions. 10 of those multiple choice questions are questions, coding questions and modifier questions, but it is, majority billing. I would say, I don't know if you've taken the practice exams, but that's a great way to prepare for the exam. AAPC does have 3 different practice exams. They each have 50 multiple choice questions. So you can definitely do that. That is a great option. Natasha, do you want to talk about the CPC exam?
Yes. The CPC exam is 100 questions, multiple choice format. The exam is now 4 hours, like Kiana mentioned. So you do have the option to take the exam online or in person, so that you do have that flexibility now. And the exam is heavily weighted on guidelines and a lot of surgery coding. So just be mindful of that. So you just need to know how to use your coding manuals, that CPT manual, ICD-10-CM manual, your HIPICS manual. You do use all of those manuals to take the exam. And then you have to have a really good knowledge, understanding of your guidelines. That's so important. From your ICD-10-CM manual guidelines to the CPT coding section guidelines in each sections that you go through. And you're going to test on everything. So you're testing on evaluation and management, integumentary system, respiratory system, cardiovascular, digestive system, medicine section, the laboratory path. Every section in that CPT manual you're testing on. And then you have some questions in your HIPICS manual, some modifier questions. You have some business of medicine questions, a little bit of medical terminology and a little bit of anatomy questions, but the exam is heavily weighted on the surgery coding. So be mindful of that. If you do not have 2 years of experience, they will give you what's called a CPCA behind that certification, which stands for apprentice. If you do have the experience, then you just send in a letter, fax it in to APC, and that A comes off. And that's one of the differences between taking the CPC compared to taking like the CPB or any of those specialties. They're not looking for experience, so you're not getting A's behind those specialty certifications. But for the CPC, that is a requirement.
And if there's anyone who has not taken the CPB prep course, I would encourage you to take the CPB prep course before sitting for the exam. It's not an easy exam. You do need to prepare for it. In addition to the prep course, like I mentioned, there are 3 different practice exams that you can take that mimic the actual exam. So there will be similar questions. You'll learn the format. You'll be able to time yourself because you do definitely have to keep that time in mind. You have like just under 2 minutes per question. And then the textbook, if you're enrolled in the course, you can get the textbook. If you're not, you can purchase the study guide. The study guide and the textbook both contain all of the topics that are going to be covered on the exam. So you definitely want to study those, from cover to cover. Someone asked if I could repeat the name of the liability insurance. It is E&O, Errors and Omissions Insurance. Someone asked how many billing certifications are there? With AAPC, there's only one, the CPB, Certified Professional Biller. Other organizations, I'm sure, have billing certifications. I'm not familiar with the other organizations, but AAPC is the largest training and credentialing organization for the business of healthcare, and that's the one that we are both affiliated with. They have over 220,000 members worldwide. Let's see. Do you need a billing certificate to be a biller? Okay, so you don't have to be certified in order to become a medical biller. That is optional. It's highly encouraged because it's formal training. And like I said, you get to be part of an organization. The membership and the continuing education is priceless, in my opinion. So, but you don't have to start out that way. You can start out with, training, education and training, and then you can pursue certification at a later time if you choose to. Let's see. Okay, what type of tools like books or sites should a biller be using to do their job? Okay, so definitely, once you're enrolled in the course, you're going to get that textbook. Or like I said, if you're not enrolled in the course, you can purchase the study guide. Now, we do use the coding manuals as well. We're not coding, but, sometimes we do have to reference those codes. So we'll be using, the coding manuals as well. Let me think about websites. Well, the websites that I use on a daily basis are websites like Availity, like the different payer websites, and especially Availity, that's pretty popular. You'll be able to access several different payers to check for, eligibility and benefits, claim status, maybe to file appeals, things like that.
And Kiana, in your course, you do provide a lot of different forms for anyone that's new getting started. I'm pumping up your class. Kiana sets you up for success. So if anyone is interested in learning billing, starting their own business, definitely check out what she has to offer. And even as a coder, the tools we use, we're always constantly on the CMS website because we are following them. And then we're on our different MAC websites, depending on where your Medicare administrative contractor is. You're on those sites, payers websites, Codify. We use Codify. That's through the APC. That's a coding tool we use to check for any NCCI edits. It can help you claim, scrub claims, look up articles, and all of those different things. So there's a lot of different tools and resources that we both use as a biller and coder.
There are two other things I wanted to mention. I'm trying to maneuver the questions here. There was something someone asked. I think I missed that question. Someone asked about mentorship. I don't offer mentorship. I do have something very special, something very exciting coming in January. I can't wait to share with you guys. I'm super excited about that. But I don't offer mentorship. But one of the amazing benefits of becoming an AAPC member is mentorship. Okay, they have a program called Mentor City. And with your membership, you can get a mentor. I don't think a lot of people are aware of that.
I don't think so either. Yes, APC has so many different benefits for us, resources. I know someone was asking about the insurance, and they have on there where you can get insurance. It's not through them, but you can get discounts. A lot of different resources are available. So if you are a member of the APC, you definitely want to be checking out the member benefits that they do offer on the APC website. They have a savings center as well, and they have a variety of healthcare links available to us.
Someone asked also about resume writing service. I know, and I'm not sure if it's for billing or coding, but I know Keisha Sutton, the six-figure medical coder, offers resume writing service.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going through the chat.
Okay.
Can you please give the information on how to take the checklist one more time? So on my website, justaskthebiller.com. Just go to my website in a couple of seconds. The pop-up will appear asking you if you would like the checklist. All you have to do is enter your email address. Is there a class for hospital billing? I'm not sure. That would be called facility billing. I'm not really aware of a facility billing course. In medical billing, unfortunately, we don't have as many options as coding. So off the top of my head, I'm not aware of a facility billing course. I would recommend maybe asking around in the different medical billing and coding Facebook groups and see if maybe someone can refer you to a course. Medicare billing. So I don't provide medical. Okay, so in the course, you will learn about different payers, and Medicare is one of them, but you're going to learn about the basics of Medicare. So you're going to get some detailed information that you can, take with you onto your positions or, with your clients. Very helpful and useful information, but there's no specific, Medicare billing training in my course. Natasha, someone asked, do you use Encoder Pro?
Right now, I don't use it, but I have used it in the past. Yes. So Encoder Pro is good. It's an excellent tool resource. Um, 3M is also good. So there's a lot of different software tools available for coders. And so any of those are great to use.
Do you offer anything for auditing? Someone is asking.
Do I offer anything for auditing? Like a course? No, I'm not offering an auditing course right now. I'm not sure what that means. I do offer auditing services. So if it's a practice or something, that's a little different. But I'm not offering the training for our kids.
Someone is asking for a website where you can get a medical job. Definitely the top three I would say are monster.com, indeed.com, and ziprecruiter.com. As I mentioned earlier, AAPC does have a job board. LinkedIn has one as well. But definitely the top, employment websites are great to search for medical billing opportunities, and then definitely network, with your local chapters if you're an AAPC member. Marty asks, how much is the CPB prep course? So let's talk about our courses and our offerings, Natasha. So the CPB prep course, my package is called Biller Boss Bootcamp, and that's going to give you access to the AAPC CPB prep course. So you'll have 6 months access to the course, which is self-paced. It's 14 chapters. Once you complete the course and pass the prep course with a grade of 70 or more, you will get a certificate of completion from AAPC, and then you'll be able to move on to the practice exam. So there is one practice exam included in my boot camp. You can purchase the additional 2 directly from AAPC. You will also receive, included in the boot camp, the CPB textbook, the 3 coding manuals, CPT, ICD-10-CM, and HCPCS, 1-year AAPC membership, and also access to my billing and software training course. So the billing and software training course is pre-recorded. That's also self-paced. You can study and go through that, at your own time. But in addition to that, we meet live via Zoom on Wednesdays for Q&A. So it's scheduled to meet for 6 weeks, but you do have 1-year access to the billing and software training course. So you can join, any live session throughout that year. You're also going to get access to real medical billing software. It's a tutorial account, but it is real medical billing software so that you can practice everything that you're learning and then add that, software to your resume to help you get those positions. So in the course, as Natasha mentioned, it's great. It's excellent. There's a lot of feedback online. If you go to my Google business page, I have over 100 reviews. You can read through that and see what people are saying about the course. It goes through the entire revenue cycle. It's amazing. It's amazing. So if anybody, wants to reach out to me, if you have any questions, you can reach out, but it really does set you up for success. It's a great course to learn the fundamentals. Of course, you're not going to learn everything there is to know about medical billing because there's no course that exists that does that. There's just too much to learn. But it's a great foundational course to get you started, to jumpstart your medical billing career or to jumpstart your medical billing business.
Yes, it is a great course. I can vouch for it. So if you are interested or thinking about doing the medical billing, you need to take Kiana's course. And then what we have to...
Let me mention one thing, Natasha.
Okay, yes. Yes.
My apologies. Natasha does join us in my course. Natasha joins us in week 3 of the billing coaching group. The training portion is called the billing coaching group. And like I mentioned, we meet 6 weeks on Zoom. And in week number 3, I have Natasha join us and we practice coding questions because, as I mentioned before, billers are not responsible for coding. But on the CPB exam, there are 10 coding questions. So you do have to familiarize yourself with the different code sets, with the coding manuals. And Natasha is gracious enough to join us in week 3. And we practice coding questions. And, she's a great resource. So I appreciate you.
Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate you too. And with our courses, so we are streamlining now, and we're not offering the full CPC 16 weeks at the moment. We are focusing on the CPC study prep. And so the CPC study prep is for someone who has already gone through the program, right? So you can gone through a community college, or maybe you did a 16-week program and you need the additional study prep. You're having a hard time passing the exam. So the study prep is 1 month. We meet once a week via Zoom, and we go over the must-knows for the exam. So key points, right? The surgery guidelines. We go over evaluation and management. We go over HitPix coding, modifiers, the business of medicine. Also, you walk away with 4 exams to help you. So you start off with an actual mock exam, like you're actually taking the CPC study prep. And then each week you get an additional study prep to help you. And we're going over those questions. So a lot of test prepping, because I'm looking for your accuracy and I'm looking for your time. The number one reason why people do not pass the CPC exam is not necessarily because they don't know the information. It's just because they run out of time. And so I help you to be able to balance that, how to attack the exam so the exam doesn't attack you, right? How to do process of elimination and help you get through that. And then we also have some on-demand products. So maybe the study prep is something you're not able to do right now. You just want some test prep, some actual practice tests. We have practice tests available for you as well. And so that's what we're offering to you right now.
Yes. Exam review classes are excellent as well to help you prepare for the exams. You can take a CPC exam review class. You could take a CPB exam review class. I did host one a couple months back, and the recording is available on my website. It's $30, and we go over what to expect, on the exam, and 50 practice exam questions. So that's also a great resource for you guys to attend, a CPC or CPB review class. Those classes are also great. If you're already a certified member, you can earn CEUs. So that's also a great way to learn, review, and earn CEUs as well. So my billing course has open enrollment because remember, it is pre-recorded. It's self-paced, so you can join anytime. You'll have full access to the course, and then we'll meet live via Zoom for Q&A. So you're welcome, Marty. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Valerie, you're welcome as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Natasha, did you have any final words? I think that's the end of
I think that's it. I was just making sure we answered all the questions. I did see someone ask what's the difference between, I'm not sure if we answered this, between the NHA, the CBCS, and the CPB through AAPC. I think we talked about that, right? Or
why didn't talk about NHA? I'm not familiar with their organization. I know they have the CBCS, Certified Billing and Coding Specialist, if I'm not mistaken. So that's like a dual certification. But I think you would agree that AAPC is like the gold star.
Right. Right. So, to further that, AAPC is the gold standard, the gold star. So, if you do have the CBCS, I think that's what it's called, or something, the NHA, and you're looking for jobs as a coder, then that could possibly be a reason why you may not be finding something, because they're looking for either a certification through AHIMA or AAPC. So just be mindful of that. And then someone asked, do we have any tip sheets for billing?
I don't have any tip sheets for billing. No, I don't have those available.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of notes that I keep up with, right? That's a good market, right? That's a good product.
Plenty of notes.
Right. Yes. You had another question come in. Kiana, is your course step-by-step? Would this be good for someone who is a slow learner?
Yes. The course is step-by-step. Like I mentioned, we're going through the revenue cycle, each stage of the revenue cycle step-by-step. And it is a beginner-friendly course. So you don't need any prior healthcare experience to be successful at completing the course. I have plenty of students, almost 500 students to date. And most of them do not have any prior healthcare experience. So yes, it's very beginner friendly. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Why don't we give our contact information?
Yes, so you can find my website is ncmhealthcare.com. ncmhealthcare.com, and you'll be able to find the courses that we offer, as well as that download available to you for medical coding interview questions are available to you as well.
Yes.
And I am on Instagram. Sorry.
Go ahead.
And I'm on Instagram at Medical Mompreneur.
What about your Facebook group?
Oh, yes. In the Facebook group, we do have some in the group tonight. Thank you all for joining. So the Facebook group is Medical Billing and Coding Careers with an S for moms. So that's Medical Billing and Coding Careers for moms.
And lastly, your email address?
My email address, you can use info@ncmhealthcare.com. So that's info@ncmhealthcare.com.
Okay, perfect. And my website is just, so it's JUST, just askthebiller.com. My email address is askthebiller@gmail.com. And definitely subscribe here on YouTube at Ask the Biller, and follow me on Instagram, where I'm pretty active daily, at Ask the Biller as well. So have a great night, guys. Thank you again so much for joining. We wish you the best in your medical billing and coding careers and with your medical billing and coding businesses. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Kiana. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.